Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson here for a meditation a day. Today, we're fortunate, very fortunate, to have Keira Lani with us for our meditation. She's also known as a Qigong healer, so we can ask her about that after the meditation. But today's meditation is called Alchemize Grief with Purpose. So, Kira, thank you so much for being here today, and I'll just let you get started.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. Always a gift to be here and sharing the magic and the moment. I just love the level of presence that I always experience coming on here to do these meditations for Enlightened World Network. And I really want to speak to all of you out there to let us know you're here and share what you value about this space, all of the tireless work that goes into creating a network of enlightenment. And I'm really feeling that network of trees showing up. And we're going to drop in to a space that is very elemental here today. And so in Chinese five element theory, one of the elements is the metal element. So in our meditation today, as well as the trees, we're going to connect to the stone people. The stones are the grounders of the energy of grief, and they are the generators of beautiful crystal formations and the original ore that became what we know today as money. And so this metal element is the holder of grief and sadness and the generator of wealth. And so when we open this channel for the metal element to flow through us, we may need to allow ourselves to fully feel the emotion of grief, of sadness, of letting go in order to generate consistent financial flow in our lives. And so, as you arrive into your seat preparing for the meditation today, connect with the breath. And the breath is where the energy enters the body. So feel that you're breathing pure life force energy into your center of grief. Feel your lungs expanding. The lungs are the holder of grief, and the lungs are the purifier of the metal element in your body. So breathe a little deeper, expand the breath to lift and open the chest, to open the side bodies and the armpits, giving more space for energy to flow to the heart. Expand the back of the rib cage. And as you exhale, feel your connection to the earth and feel beneath the earth's surface all of those stone people, all of those who are there to transmute the energy of grief and generate the energy of wealth. Feel the water element coming in, that deep presence of the water mother that flows through to transmute the energy in the stones so that the most dense coal becomes transmuted into diamonds, so that the minerals flow together into beautiful crystal formations. And assisting the formation of pure gold and silver, titanium, all of those rare earth minerals that are necessary for this technology that we use to connect in this way. Feel how the earth holds all of these energies, beautifully directing the flow of the water, the creation of the minerals into wealth beneath her surface. And feel how the trees are holding the earth between their roots, channeling the energy of heaven into earth beautifully. With every breath that you breathe in, a tree is breathing out. With every breath that you breathe out, a tree is breathing in. The trees are here to assist with transmuting the energy of resentment, anger, frustration into beautifully held, clear, healthy boundaries communicated in loving kindness. How can you more gracefully embody the energy of a tree in all your relations? Clear communication releases the need for anger and frustration held tight when we're not understood. Feel the energy of the trees supporting you as the energy of water is flowing through to heal the trauma, to transmute the grief, and to assist you in walking your path of purpose in the flow of sustainable financial wealth. Feel how the earth is holding it all, teaching you to trust, knowing that all of your doubts and fears are being composted into courage, consistency, knowing that you can trust your energy to guide you. And now we invite the energy of fire to awaken in our hearts, the passion that guides our focused walk here on earth, the passion that forms the metal within to a well-honed tool, so that rather than wallowing in grief or nostalgia, we take precise action towards our goals. Feel the breath of life moving through you as your inner guidance takes the reins. Your body, heart, spirit, all unifying in purpose to mold you into the most effective tool for the purpose that you came here to live. Continuing to breathe, stoking that inner fire, seeing the metal within you molded into exactly the tool that you need to serve the purpose that you came here for. Feel your physical structure even becoming refined, knowing that the choices that you make going forward, what you choose to put into your body, what you choose to allow voice, what you choose to put your hands to, who you choose to associate with, all of these choices will be guided from this purified place in your heart. Notice in this space what comes in to be presenced, what part of you wants to be witnessed, what creation wants to come through you, what words want to be expressed. As you come back into the space, connecting through the breath, the inner and outer worlds, take a moment with your journal to take note of what came through. And let me know in the comments what you experienced in this intuitively guided meditation journey.
Thank you, Keira. I could have stayed there a lot longer, actually. Thank you for that. I really loved when you asked, basically, who are you choosing to associate with? What are you choosing to spend your time and your energy on? I thought that was so poignant and so appreciated. And actually, in meditation, literally yesterday or the day before, it was asking the same questions. So I think it's not just me, I think other folks are being asked those same questions. Are you speaking your truth? Are you living the life you are thinking you're supposed to be living here? So I appreciate that, how timely you are.
Thank you. As you're reflecting, I'm really noticing how so many people are seeking their purpose and forgetting that we have choice, that we get to choose what we spend our time on.
Mhm.
And even, when you have a job that you have to go to, this is what you're choosing for yourself. And so to really acknowledge if there's something in your life that you feel like you're not choosing, then maybe it's time to choose something different. And yeah, I honestly didn't know that's what was coming through. I've been teaching on this topic around transmuting grief and purpose, and really digging deep in myself around this connection in the metal element to, because it's not just grief isn't just somebody died, whether it's a pet or a human. It's not just around someone dying. There are so many different aspects of life that we find ourselves grieving. And it may be missed opportunities or who we thought we were going to become. Like you brought up, are you living the life that you think that you're supposed to be living? And sometimes we think, oh well, it's too late for me to do that thing I always wanted to do.
Mm,
And maybe it's not too late. If there's something that you're telling yourself that, maybe there's a perspective shift being called for as well. And so the idea that we can, because grief can weigh us down to the point where we're not taking action to find our way through. And it's the same energy that allows us to create or just step into the flow of massive abundance and financial flow in our lives. And so even it may even be that there is a need for you to express your grief, to feel it fully in order to find that piece of what's keeping you from living your purpose and being in your optimal financial state in life. And so I really invite further inquiry. I do feel that we could have stayed there longer and gone deeper.
yeah,
And so if you are out there feeling like I want to understand all these different, I know I kind of brought in a lot of different pieces, very surface level in this meditation. So if you are out there and you're kind of wondering about what was that she said about the earth and trust, or what was that she said about the trees helping us process rage, if you're curious and you have questions, I'm here. I'm an open book. I'm always happy to respond to messages or schedule a time for a deep dive into your inquiry.
yeah. And we appreciate that about you a great deal. I had started off saying that you were a Qigong healer, and then you came in, and I love this sentence and this thought. With every breath you breathe in, a tree is breathing out. And then vice versa. With every breath a tree is breathing in, you are breathing out. And the reciprocity in that is just beautiful. Can you talk about what does Qigong healer mean and
Mm-hmm.
how did this come about? Not everybody's got this awareness that you have.
Yeah, well, it actually started when I was in my early to mid 20s, and I was already a yoga practitioner at that time and a nature lover. And I'd always talked to the trees. We used to harvest our Christmas tree from the forest, and we'd always find the one that was kind of crowded and look for the health of the forest and thank you and leave offerings and things like that. But when I was in my mid 20s, a tree talked to me, and that was a first for me. And so I often say a tree was my first Qigong teacher was a tree, because the experience of communing with a tree, my very first experience was literally an energy exchange.
Hmm.
And the tree showed me how all of the trees communicate through a global network before I ever knew there was such a thing as the mycelial network of communication between tree roots and mushrooms. And and so I later studied all these things. I studied qigong. See, I can't even talk today, but I studied qigong and became a medical qigong practitioner. And meanwhile, I'm all my life I'm communicating with trees, and they started telling me things like you need to tell our story. We need your help to fill in the gaps in our network of communication. We need you to help gather other humans for this work. And and so the words tree gong, the very first advent was I was practicing my very first talk about tree communication. And I created an event in the park where we were going to do experiential qigong after talking about how trees communicate. And so tree gong is really so much more than just bringing together tree communication and qi gong, because at the heart, at the most simple version, that's what it is. And I think of it as also myself as a healer gathering from my roots, which are rooted in the Native American traditions of the land that I grew on, and the um, indigenous European traditions that I tap into through my ancestral lineage, and the roots of the Vedic traditions of yoga that I grew up with and later studied more deeply, and the Chinese medicine roots of China that I studied more deeply in my 30s and 40s, and all of the other modalities. It becomes a laundry list if I start naming all of the modalities that I've gathered over my life, but I see myself as a gatherer and then spreading my branches out to create a sacred space of healing through all of these modalities joining and coming through me as needed. And so that to me, and it was so beautiful. My client earlier said, I see you as having a really big skirt and you just wrap it around me and all my parts can fit inside of this sacred space that you created. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful image. And it really is the feeling of being in the presence of a tree. And the energy of a tree is such a sacred space. And so I really invite you, if you've never gone and breathed with a tree, with a specific individual tree that is its own individual organism, just like you, to just try it. Go see what it feels like. See if that tree talks to you or shows you something or gives you a feeling, and then come back and share it with us, because we always want to hear. All of us are enriched by hearing each other's experiences, just as you are enriched by hearing mine or Ruth's or any of the amazing practitioners here.
Oh, Keira, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And friends, we've provided Keira's contact information there in the description. So if you want to reach out to her, with that, we will say thank you for being here today. Keira, thank you so very much. Friends, so much love to you from Enlightened World Network. Take good care. God bless, and we'll see you.